Welcome to this episode of the Mystery Cast, right here on Tales of Earth. I was talking very quietly. A show that we live stream every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/comicstorian. With us today, we have
Dan, aka Dan T Producer on Twitter and Instagram, and Silu91 on Twitch.
Yes, he is one of 400,000 Dans on Earth. How does that feel?
Well, I am the one and only Dan Rumbles, though.
I don't know.
Think so?
You should Google it.
Actually, we have looked into my last name, and very few people have my last name.
I can see that, yeah.
We had
Doesn't mean
one
you're the
guy.
only one, though.
We've had one guy. His name wasn't Dan, though.
Yeah.
We had one guy just message me, my sister, and my brother on Facebook, and he was some 40-year-old guy, and his last name was Rumbles, and he was like, "Hey, I'm a Rumbles too. Are we connected?" And we're all like, "Block."
Yeah.
Not a 40-year-old man just randomly trying to jump into our DMs.
Well, one of the Andys.
No,
Where can they find you?
I am the only one. That's why they can find me at For I Am The Andy at Netflix. No, at Instagram. I like the Netflix thing.
Someday
I'm gonna have my own
Netflix
flag.
will jump in on
I'm
the
gonna have my own
joke, and they'll be
special.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's just one page, and it just says, "'Cause it's funny."
Why not? I'm my own comedy special.
You can find me on Twitter at Film Circuit, YouTube at Film Circuit, and Instagram at Northward Films. By the way, my name is Gary. Just
I was gonna say, I was like, you didn't really name yourself there, gentleman.
No, I didn't. If you want to support us, you can support us by going to patreon.com/comicstorian, where you can get early access to this show as well as other stuff and other content. You can also support us by buying Tales of Earth merch, like these shirts, like this Andy, right there on the rock.
That is a bearded Adonis riding a slide rock bolter.
You can also, are we sponsored by G Fuel today?
We are always sponsored by G Fuel.
Always sponsored by G Fuel.
Where you can use the code COMICS at checkout to save 10%.
Yes. I feel like, am I missing anything?
It's got a dent in it.
I know.
You can support us by going to Tales of Earth on YouTube. Subscribe there. Comment. Like the videos. Don't dislike them.
Yeah.
Or
That's
dislike
not cool.
them. Don't
No.
dislike them.
What?
So, today, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about top 20 weirdest inventions ever. Why? Because I had another topic in mind, which I was researching, and then I stumbled on this list, and I about lost it. And I realized this is what we have to talk about today.
All right.
Because it's
Okay.
very entertaining. So top 20 weirdest inventions ever. This comes from bigthink.com/Paul-Ratner/20-weirdest-inventions-ever. Okay.
One of those
one.
was a slash, though. You get to guess.
Number one, mousetrap pistol.
I have 3 of these at my house right now.
Man.
Just set up old-timey
set up.
pistols.
Well, yeah, I bought old-timey pistols for this purpose alone.
This 1882 invention by James A. Williams of Texas, of course.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Takes a very serious approach to mice infestations. The product never took off as people were wary of keeping 50 caliber loaded revolvers patrolling their kitchen floors. It's
I
literally
didn't realize everybody was a bunch of
Literally-
sissies back
It
then.
was just this guy. He was like, well, I don't have any boxes. I don't have like a normal mousetrap. But what do I have a lot of? Guns.
It is the old-timey way.
So it is literally a picture of a pistol on like a stand with some levers pointed at a mouse.
That is hilarious.
And very effective, I'm sure.
A 50 caliber pistol round back then would have blown up that mouse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or literally anything else
anything
that
in-
would have
So-
The
touched
mouse,
that strap.
anything behind it. The gunpowder wasn't very
if
powerful,
you
though,
hate
so it
your
probably would have hit a
floors-
wall and been fine.
If you hate your floors or your house in general, and you're okay with pistols just laying around your house, yeah, why not?
Which?
I mean, if you live alone, it's not really a big
Yeah,
deal.
I mean, who cares?
But
Plus,
I
this
can
was the
imagine you're
late 1800s, so even like babies had guns. Everybody knows
They
that.
did.
Well,
Actually,
yeah.
children
I mean,
would
self-defense.
take guns to bed. Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody knows that. Self-defense.
I can
Even when a
imagine
bear might
sitting
want it.
there with like a newspaper, and it's 1882, and you're like,
boom.
I
Just,
got a mouse.
you just go, I got one.
Yeah.
Actually, they're like, honey, you still alive up there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We just got a mouse.
Yeah. Or in the middle of the night, you're dead asleep. You're
Yep.
just dead asleep, and you just, yeah.
The worst part is you got to go reset the trap
Yeah.
by cocking the hammer again.
This is the coolest invention I've ever seen in my life.
Because they weren't
Okay.
semi-automatics. You'd have to know. Oh, hold on. What if there's another one? There we go.
Yeah, we're still loaded? All right.
I got to go around the house and reload all the traps.
Oh, man. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Number 2, Tomatan, a wearable
This
robot
is-
that feeds you tomatoes, invented by the Japanese juice vendor Kagome, the robot that sits in a harness behind your head, pulls out tomatoes and puts them directly in your mouth as you run.
I have
It
never heard
even
of
has a
tomatoes being run.
timer.
I've never eaten a tomato like an apple before.
Or during.
I have.
Why
Have
would
you
you
really?
Yeah,
eat
they're
it
good.
during a
Yeah.
A run?
I don't know.
Extra
I mean,
carbs.
I
It's
can't
the
imagine.
nutrients and the fluid to keep you hydrated somehow.
It's got electrolytes. It's what bodies need.
It's got
It's
electrolytes.
like the
I met somebody who
vegetable-
hadn't seen that.
It's like the, or I guess fruit, because it's a fruit.
It is technically
It is
a
a
fruit.
version of
Yes.
like Gatorade.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
It's nature's
I mean,
Gatorade.
Nature's, everybody knows that.
But let's just break down what it would be like to run with this robot on
Yeah,
your
that's
back.
the
Hold on, did you
creepy
link
part.
this to chat?
No, I need
Because
to,
they need to see what it looks like.
It's
Because it
weird.
looks
I don't
like a
like it.
small
All
child.
right,
it
I'm gonna
does.
link it.
Yeah, it looks
I'm
like
gonna
a
link this in
happy
chat.
small tomato child.
You know that skin from Fortnite where it's a giant tomato man? It's his kid.
It's his kid. Just imagine you're running, okay, and then suddenly you just you just get this tomato shoved in your mouth.
robot.
Why tomatoes? I don't know.
Could you use anything else in it?
Maybe something of the same size.
That's
and
what I'm
shape.
saying. So what if
Yes,
I
like an
what if I
apple.
put like
It actually
well,
just
I feel like
disables.
apples wouldn't work, but what about like a plum or maybe a nectarine?
Yeah.
Okay, once again, why would you want those?
I don't
No
know.
idea.
Either
One, I never run this
Okay,
long
so
that I would need sustenance mid-run.
I wonder.
maybe the Japanese are onto something.
I was
that
gonna
we
say
don't know
maybe
anything
this is
about.
a Japanese like
Oh, it's
cultural
definitely,
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
that's true. Maybe.
Like tomatoes.
either-
being,
like Japanese mothers are like, "Oh, you going for a run? Don't forget your
Don't
tomatoes."
forget your
Tomatoes.
tomatoes. And before they're like, "Oh, I can't run with all these tomatoes. I need
If
a
only
small
I had a
robot."
robot that would sit on my shoulders.
So one of two things happened. This did not sell well, or it sold like gangbusters. I don't know.
It
Yeah,
sold
find
out. It made one line, and then one robot went awry, and so they had to shut down.
What
It was
is
the Great Tomato
so-
Uprising of
so-
1872.
Since this is, what was that cartoon? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I did watch that as a kid. Anyway, yeah, it was a cartoon. It was called Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. What was I going to say? The mystery here in this episode is why?
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 But why?
All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, number 3.
Hold on, I can actually do that Ryan Reynolds meme now because I have to carry a mask with me at all times.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
it weighed
do it.
18 pounds, just so you know.
Oh my goodness.
So, and that's not including, I assume, the tomatoes.
No.
Yeah.
So you're easily looking at like 20 pounds added to your shoulders and having tomatoes shoved in your face while you run.
Clearly,
I can imagine.
it was actually strength training.
Yeah.
But they
In-
didn't want to just
yeah.
give you a child.
In the streets and like sidewalks and parks of Japan, you just have random tomato machines on the side because we got so sick of them. They just like, took them
Now,
off
little
and
do
threw
you know, this was actually a training tactic where you wanted the tomatoes so little that it would detect when you stopped running and force you to eat the tomatoes so you would keep running. It's like a reverse
Or
carrot on a stick
who-
situation.
Did
So
you find
I can tell you why it's tomatoes, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
So the actual robot, the tomato tan, was commissioned by the Kagome company,
Okay.
which specializes in tomato-based products. It was
But
used
why
in the
running?
2015 Japanese marathon.
Okay.
Okay, so why tomatoes? Well, Kagome specializes in tomato-based products for one, naturally to advertising the superb quality of tomatoes and combating fatigue, something that is definitely needed in a marathon. But,
I
eating
prefer
a tomato
Gatorade.
by hand would require the runner to stop for a little while. He or she must be able to pace the tomato eating. Such considerations
my
require
goodness.
some form of automation, and what better automated tool than a robot?
Then a robot on your shoulders.
This is just Japan going, I like that camelback idea,
Or-
but I work with tomatoes.
If you have a toddler, put them on your shoulders, strap them in, and just tell them like, all right, tomato. Just like give you a tomato. You're like, all right, tomato.
It's your daughter.
Yeah. Slunk. All right.
Okay, sorry.
Number 3, the Impulsoria. The 1850 machine was invented in Italy by Clemente Mascherano to utilize animal power on railways. So it's like a
It's a train powered by horses.
I
Basically-
actually kind of love that they put them on
Basically-
treadmills.
Yes.
So that the wheel. That's actually kind of smart. For back then, that's actually pretty
And
smart.
great exercise for nowadays.
Yeah.
Let's say you need to take the
Put, like,
train
10 people
into
on
the
there.
city.
Give me one of
Like,
those
junk,
treadmill
junk,
jacks.
junk, junk. Okay. This
Oh
one.
my
Okay.
God.
Anti-pervert hairy leg stockings.
That is genius.
This Chinese invention is supposedly made to ward off would-be attackers from young girls.
That's actually kind of
that's
genius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not that weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it might look weird, but if you think
looks
about what it
weird.
actually is
Yeah.
used for, it's not that weird.
It's not that weird.
Yeah.
This one is absolutely terrifying to me. Group shaving machine.
Oh, Jesus.
Also known as the group murder machine.
Yes, exactly.
You know, Sweeney
This-
Todd, this is when they
Yeah,
replaced
he's
his
like,
jobs with
"Here,
robots.
let me-
he was
just-
like, "This is taking way too long. I need to start doing this in groups."
This 19th century machine could shave a dozen men at once. One reason for its commercial failure was that it could not alter its movements according to face shape. I can imagine that would be a problem.
Little did you know, the robot actually just put the knife out and you just went,
This guy looks terrified.
he does.
They
does.
all
He's like,
look
"Oh."
absolutely terrified.
Nah, I wouldn't.
how
do
much
this.
were they getting paid to
Oh
do
my
this?
goodness. What
Probably
I find
like at this
amazing-
time, probably like 20 cents.
Yeah. That's like a day's wages.
Yeah.
There was, do you guys remember the Casper movie from
Yes.
the early 90s?
Yes.
I think
This
so.
was a thing that was featured in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
On the
really?
little roller coaster thing, he goes down, it like shaves him and cleans him
Yeah,
up.
because
Oh,
it was like
yeah.
his father
Oh,
was an inventor.
yeah.
A crazy
Um,
inventor, actually, in the movie.
But I can imagine, there's no calibrating this thing.
No.
It's like, so does your face shape match? You know what? Forget it. We'll find out in the chair.
It's like, how
Just
afraid
sit
of
down.
knives are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. How afraid of being cut are you? I mean, okay, let me rephrase that.
Let's say-
Are you okay with being cut?
Are you against having your throat slit accidentally?
Do you like being alive? No?
No?
Well,
Fan-
come help us
it's a
out.
suicide
Help us out,
booth.
Yeah. Yeah, they look terrified. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like
This is-
that
it's-
picture
it's a
alone. The old man is like,
50-50.
"Oh my god, I'm
It's-
next."
The guy's
Exactly.
eyes.
This is like a bad Hitchcock movie.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Ye olde torture device.
Group shaving machine.
Yeah.
All right, number 6, Flitz.
Sure, yeah, totally.
This foot-powered bicycle without pedals, saddle, or
I was
any
gonna say
gears.
foot-powered bicycle. Isn't that just a
bicycle.
bicycle?
Without pedals, saddle, or any gears, was invented by German designers Tom Hambrock and Jerry Spetter. The user hangs on a harness in between two wheels, propelling the bicycle by running, then resting feet on the back wheel. So you're coasting.
So
you're
it's
like running
it's a
and then coasting.
skateboard
Or a scooter.
or a scooter,
bicycle.
yeah.
But a
scooter.
bike. And very cumbersome. And
Yeah.
probably not very safe.
It's-
You can't
it's just
bail.
it doesn't look
You can't
comfortable.
bail
either.
off
It's
of
just
this
a
thing.
bike with the pedals broken off.
It's just a bike with extra steps.
Yeah. And
Literally. 'Cause you're walking.
well done.
It's a Flintstone bike.
Well done.
It is a Flintstone bike.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It was
That
actually a
just seems-
promotional
that just
thing
seems
for the
stupid.
movie. Did
Yeah.
you not know that?
It's
That was promotional
missing-
for the
so-
Flintstones movie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's missing a tomato robot. That's
What
it's
it
missing.
needs.
Yes.
At
Yes.
first, it reminded me of the replacement for airlines in South Park, the
Oh,
giant
yeah,
wheel.
yeah.
At first glance, for some reason, that reminded me of that. I'm
Yeah.
glad it was not.
I need this.
It's pretty absurd.
I need the next
All
one.
right, mustache shield number 7. This 1876. Okay, by the way, on this list, most of these inventions were in the 19th century. So,
Put it before
s-
common sense was a
yes.
thing.
Mustache shield. This 1876 mustache shield was patented by Virgil A. Gates. The invention was designed to keep facial hair out of the way when eating and drinking.
That's genius.
Photo by MJ Revised Patent.
I
Okay, so
constantly get food in my
that
mustache.
is exactly what it is. It is a shield for your mustache.
Have you? Okay, slight tangent. Have you seen the mugs that are for people with mustaches?
No,
Where it's a mug and it's got a lip around the side you would take a drink
Okay.
from,
Okay.
so and like a hole, so that when you take a sip, the hole puts the drink in your mouth, and it's got that barrier, so your mustache doesn't get your drink in it.
Interesting. I like it.
They
Yeah.
should make utensils that keep the food from getting stuck in your beard as well.
No, you
Shield.
just get a
It's
mustache.
Right in
get a
front of
shield.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Get
get
a
a shield.
mustache shield.
Yeah, I like the blueprints too, and I like how every
It looks like braces.
every figure, every human figure in these old timey drawings are very proper. They're like always proper gentlemen.
And they all have the twisty mustache.
yes, they always.
Well, yeah,
they
that's just very common.
I'm gonna grow that out.
a twisty mustache.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'll get mustache wax.
do. All right,
I have a little comb.
number 8, nose stylus. Invented by Dominic Wilcox, this device allows you to keep a hand free for other tasks while you operate the phone with your nose stylus.
I need to know what this looks like.
I think the video's not available.
I need to know what this looks like.
Let me look up an image. Let me find an image. Yeah, the video looks
because
like
I feel like seeing the context of back then will kind of differentiate the craziness of this invention.
Nose stylus.
Because my first thought,
Oh
I
my.
hope it's that.
Oh my.
I hope
Oh,
it's
it
that.
is. It is. That is horribly inappropriate.
Okay, I hate to say it. There have been times, though, when I've had one hand free and I needed to swipe across with my nose.
So Cyrano de Bergerac would laugh at this and say, I've already got you. Or as some people might know it as Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Yeah, the movie Roxanne. Anyway.
I guarantee he's never seen that movie.
Roxanne.
No, but I love the song.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good. Steve Martin.
Have you heard the song?
Brilliant. Yes.
Okay,
Like,
good.
please?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
Well, I had to make sure because
Yeah.
if you hadn't, I would have asked you to leave.
I saw Moulin Rouge.
I've never
Okay.
seen Moulin Rouge.
How dare you? It's actually a good movie.
Nose stylus.
Revolver camera.
Revolver
Now
camera.
we're talking.
This
Hold on, I'm
30
gonna shoot you.
This Colt 38 small camera
Just look right down the
automatically
barrel.
takes a picture when you pull the trigger.
Oh my gosh!
Another
So you
gun
see
invention.
the face of someone as they literally die, is what this is telling me.
Basically.
Have you ever wanted to murder someone, but you really wanted to capture that last moment before they died?
Or you just really
Are
like,
you a
or you
psychopath?
just really like
These
shooting
days
things you
it's
take
digital
pictures
cameras.
of. Like, here, let me take a picture of the statue over here. Bam! All right.
That's the last time
it's blurry.
That's the last time I was invited into that museum. Also, I'm not allowed to go to the zoo either.
like,
It's actually like a Polaroid. So you shoot and then you're like, okay, let's see. I gotta shave it. I gotta turn it out.
it's blurry.
Yeah.
It's like, sir, no flash photography. There's no flash on this gun, so I don't see the problem. Yeah, but guns
so
are okay.
I went to the zoo today. I took tons of pictures of the lions. They have lions? Well, not anymore.
They did.
You should see the face.
Do you want to destroy what you're taking pictures of? This is for you.
Hold on, is this like an actual?
Yes, it's an actual invention.
But it's
from.
It doesn't say.
But no, is this like an
You
actual
should be our
gun?
fact finder. Be our fact finder while we look.
Because I need to know if this is an actual gun that took pictures, or if it's kind of like those gun lighters where
I
it
see.
looks
It's like a fake
gun.
gun.
Yeah. Because
You're like-
I mean, let's be honest, you would get a
Don't-
hilarious picture if it was not real.
Yeah,
But
but
you
also,
saw their face thinking it
also
was
don't
real.
mix them up.
Definitely don't mix
Don't
them
mix
up.
them up. Be like, which one was it?
And make sure you put your film in first.
yes,
Key component.
Yes.
That's actually because that would make sense. You would have the barrel would be where you would put the film.
All right, used in New York back in 1938. This revolver camera was a Colt 38 with a tiny camera that would capture a photograph whenever the trigger was pulled. And that is literally all.
That's it.
That all it gives.
1938. Andy,
Okay,
You found the history of the
I
firearm.
found the history of the firearm. It is currently there's only a few surviving photos that came from it, and they are currently in the National Archive of the Netherlands.
The archive?
No, it says Archief.
Archief?
Archief?
I don't know. It's the Netherlands.
Oh yeah, that's.
Yeah, thank you. Asshole.
Well, you kind of showed me a small screen and went this single word in the paragraph.
It
Find
says,
it.
obviously, the device itself is a very tiny camera attached
Yeah.
to both the underside of the barrel and the front of the trigger guard of a Colt 38 special revolver. The camera was somehow configured so that each time the trigger was pulled, a photo was snapped simultaneously. These black and white photo still images of times either just prior to or most likely after impact left something to the imagination, unlike today's cameras, obviously, because it was the 30s. There's no evidence that this gun was ever actually put to use other than for trial photo shoots and practice runs, probably without bullets, it says. So it doesn't actually have to fire.
I like how it
doesn't actually
says
have to fire.
probably.
Well, there's no
yeah,
actual proof. Let's see. Unfortunately, very few of the photos have actually survived.
These are, I
Oh,
believe,
goodness.
some of the photos.
It does look
It's like photos of photos and pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I'm surprised that it was actually able to take the picture without like the.
without
flash
the flash.
and all
Yeah.
of
Well, I
that.
guess if you weren't in
Yeah.
the dark, it would have been okay. You know what I'm saying? Like if you didn't need a
I
flash,
still
sort of
feel
like taking a
like
picture
just
outside.
an
you know?
explosion.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean like the natural a gun going off is not an invisible thing.
Oh yes. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, if it were Homer, he would invent the gun remote control.
That's true. But if you think about it, this is perfect. But are you sure you had to shoot the guy? Well, once I get my gun camera developed.
Did you guys
But this
ever?
was
I'll
in the
show
30
you
where
my
you could
proof.
just shoot people and nobody cared anymore.
When you
Pretty
guys
much,
were referring
yeah.
to the Homer thing, it reminded me of the comedian that never wears a shirt when he does his thing,
Yeah,
Bert
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Oh, I have
And
no
he
idea.
talks about how when he got a gun, he put a flashlight on it, and he once heard something in the alleyway at his trash cans, and the only flashlight he had was his gun, and it turned out it was his wife, and he just came out holding the gun straight at her.
Oh
'cause
my goodness.
He didn't know.
Think things through.
Oh God, so funny.
Number 10, grass flip-flops.
I love that.
It gives you the sensation of walking on grass only in your flip-flops. Although after
Made
a
by
while,
Chia
I'm
Pets.
sure you get used to it and you end up just crushing the grass and it no longer feels like grass. It just feels like
It's truly nature.
flip-flops.
It's actually
Hold on,
a,
I'm regrowing my flip
I was gonna say, like, once a week you have to
To
water
water.
the seed and water. And
Got a little pen, you're like,
It's
I'm
basically-
aerating my flip-flops.
It's a chia pet flip flop.
a chia flop.
A flip flop.
I love those commercials.
Do you guys remember the Obama Chia Pet?
I do.
Yeah.
The Obama, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
They made one
God.
for everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were
They
like
did.
They were
oddly
big.
popular
Yeah, they
for a
were.
They were
while.
very
yeah, yeah.
popular.
Someone
for a
once
while.
gave me a zombie Chia Pet, which actually grew. It was weird.
I feel like it was one of those things that it was popular because people were like, "There's no way."
just
Kind of like sea
Yeah.
monkeys, where you,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you would
yeah.
get them, and it's like
Yeah.
there's no real point, but you kind of want to find out.
Sure, yeah.
Number 11, Dynasphere, an electrically driven wheel
Oh.
capable of speeds of
I've
30
seen this,
miles per hour,
oddly
invented
enough.
by
Yeah.
Mr. J.A. Purves of Taunton and his son. It's actually kind of cool.
So you know that South Park thing I was
Yeah.
referring to
Yeah, yeah.
earlier? This
Yeah, yeah.
essentially is that one.
Yeah.
At first, I thought
like
it was
it.
just
It's just
an
a big wheel.
aerated tire, and I was
Yeah.
like, "That's an actual thing now."
Electrically powered. It doesn't give us a date.
If it was a little
But-
faster, I could see these being very popular right now.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah. So you take a turn
Uh,
too sharp and you flip over.
Oh, no.
And your crash is just
What was the crash like? Long.
Excruciatingly
It's really
slow.
long.
I got really dizzy.
I vomited
Oh
twice.
my goodness. Number 12, an automatic tipper quester, invented in 1955. Why is it near the butt?
Don't worry
And
about
what
it.
makes it great is it's reminding me of the Austin Powers scene with
Which
the
one?
shadow where Mini Me's pointing on the map.
Yeah.
It's been
Goldmember.
so long.
They're
I
like
do know what you're
silhouetted,
talking
yeah.
about. Yeah. So invented in 1955 by Russell E. Oakes, this device saw hotel bellhops as its key market. It would say no sale if the tip was too low.
Wow.
Essentially, you were paying for service.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
But that is
This is
oh, gosh.
weird.
I love that. That's
I think it's going to make a
fantastic.
comeback.
It totally
People who
is.
love retro
for
things.
different reasons.
People that work at restaurants. I was going to say people that work at restaurants.
Oh, I would have said somebody
Oh,
else.
oh, yeah.
So it's gonna be the
my
cash.
hands
Yeah.
my hands are taken.
Like,
Go out the hand.
you can keep the rest for a tip. Do you mind?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Put it in. Come on.
They're like picking up all the food, and they're like, "All right, well, you guys have a good day."
Just this.
The eye.
It's like, what do you want me to do?
The best part
High
is
five.
if this was muted and no one knew what we
Yeah,
were
yeah,
talking
yeah, yeah.
about. That would be
Oh, I'm here for
hilarious.
you.
Someone turn that into a GIF.
Oh my goodness.
Me staring at my.
Just,
Okay. Number 13, sea shoes.
I would buy the hell out of
Yes,
these.
absolutely.
oh man.
Invented by M.W. Holton, these sea shoes had duck foot propellers. So it's basically like
Is
a
he using
paddleboard.
golf
Yeah, I was gonna say
clubs?
it's just a paddleboard.
Yeah, it's a paddleboard.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like with the middle cut out. That's not that weird.
So paddle skis.
Paddle skis. Yeah.
Water shoes, kind of like snowshoes, but
Kind of.
water.
Yeah, yeah.
This one, Okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you have a
This is
child? Are
fantastic.
you and your wife incredibly lazy but have
Yes.
great shoulder strength?
And have no concern for the safety of your child.
Great shoulder strength.
Ice baby carrying device. Invented in 1937 by the hockey player Jack Milford, this carrying device allowed him and his wife to carry their baby on ice. Why not just strap it to you?
I'm sorry.
Do you have a child and have total disregard for its safety and don't really care if it dies?
And have great shoulder
mean, think
strength.
about it.
Great shoulder strength.
If even one of you goes down,
I
that
was
baby
babies.
is screwed.
Yes.
I was more picturing they hit the end and they both go different directions.
And
This
that
is a-
was how we tore our baby in half.
This is
Don't
a
ask why he
terrible
was
idea.
strapped in so tightly.
I can
to
imagine
this
there's
thing.
actually a guy in the background staring at them, probably
like,
thinking,
what
"What
the
is
hell?
I got to
wrong
take a
with
picture
that?"
of this.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you.
Oh crap, wrong guy.
That's my
Okay, so there should be a TV show. Actually, I'm not even going to say
There
anything
should be a
because I think-
TV show.
Hang on. I'm not going to say anything now because I think it's a brilliant idea. I'm going to tell you about it after the show.
Are you gonna actually make the show?
I probably should.
You should.
This would be brilliant.
Shop it around
It would have to
networks.
be a comedy. Okay.
No.
That's I'm going to end it there.
Oh, sorry.
But
No, it sounds like
I think they should call it Ice Ice Baby.
that
carrying
first
device.
off, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I read before you read it out
Yeah,
loud.
yeah.
But I have a feeling that if what your show idea is related to this, it would have to be incredibly serious to make it funny.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It would have to be
like
one
a
of
dramedy.
those shows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dramedy. Or, mockumentary. All right,
I'm a
number 50.
dramedian.
Okay.
Sorry.
Here we go. Number 15, chain smoking device for when smoking just one cigarette at a time is not enough.
Have
It's
you ever
literally a
wanted to
tube.
get cancer quicker?
The person who made this when weed became legal was like, oh,
So,
Genius.
so it's a black and white image of a sophisticated woman on a telephone, and it's literally just a tube with other tubes,
it's a cigarette flute.
and yeah, you could probably fit like 2 packs of cigarettes on this thing. Why?
I don't know.
Again, I
yeah,
have to ask why. Why?
hold on.
Why?
It allows for the smoking of 20 cigarettes at one time.
Oh,
Hold on.
my word.
But why?
But why?
I'm
This is
so
probably
glad I
This
have
is
to-
back. I do have to probably make the argument. This is probably back when people thought smoking was good for you,
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously,
Obviously.
yeah.
I mean,
because inhaling
Obviously.
smoke has to be good for you.
if your hair's like that, of course they are trying to convince you to smoke. I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can't find a time frame for
Yeah,
it. Is
no.
the problem.
That's because this is an actual thing that
Yeah,
Yeah.
is still kind of around, just
But
not
you're
for
right.
cigarettes.
You're right.
True,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Other things.
That are legal now. Don't worry.
That are legal.
on certain states.
Yes.
If you're in other states, don't use them.
True. Number 16, cat meow machine. This 1963 mechanical cat meowing device from Japan can meow
Obviously.
10 times a minute. With the eyes lighting up each time, the idea was to use the machine for scaring rats and mice.
That's actually
And
kind of
if
clever.
that doesn't work, the pistol will do the job.
That is true.
Oh, well, that's actually it's essentially an in-house scarecrow.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So it was a good thought, but I doubt it worked.
I
creep you out,
it's very creepy.
It sounds like a prank.
Like, do you have a cat?
Yeah.
No, that's my anti-mouse machine. What was that?
That's
my other anti-mouse
That's
machine.
my anti-mouse traps.
I really hate mice.
Yeah. What I do is I have the cat meow thing, lead them into the other room.
To the room with the pistols.
It hurts them.
Yeah, it hurts them in.
Yeah. Hang on. I need proof. Let me go take a picture.
Actually, they changed the pistol on the trap to the camera one, so you knew
exactly.
that it
Or
was
you-
a
you-
mouse before it exploded.
Yeah, I was gonna say that way you can you combine the two. It's perfect.
In the middle
Yeah,
of
yeah.
talking, he's like, so, and then, sorry, tomato. Yeah, just
Stupid robot.
stupid robot. Oh,
It's
my
going
goodness.
haywire, just shoving tomatoes.
Oh, man. I would. Okay.
But it loses grip partway through, so it just starts hurling tomatoes
That'd
at
be
people.
cool.
I would also love to see like a recreation of the end of Casablanca when he gets ready to get on the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the airplane, it's like the big wheel or it's the animals on the railroad
And then he
track.
pulls out his chain smoking device.
A more accurate look at history.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
how would
sorry.
you even how would you even pronounce this?
Laissez-faire.
Laissez-faire.
Yeah, let's set off.
An early bicycle invented by Le Comte de Séverac circa 1791. An alternative story is that the Comte was invented by the journalist Louis Baudry de Saunière in his Histoire de la Vélocipede from 1891. Okay, so it's basically like like an animal, like rocking horse kind of thing, but with wheels. But there's no pedals.
It's for when you can't afford the animal,
Yeah.
but you still
So-
want to look like you're riding it. You just have to make sure there's a fence in the way so people can't see the wheels.
Oh, you do anything, you come out and
So back when horseless carriages were a new thing, carriageless horses were now.
Yeah. The automacar.
The automacar. You can also you can eat your auto meal. This is amazing. 18 all-terrain car. This 1936 wheel-laden monstrosity was an all-terrain car that could descend slopes up to 65 degrees in England, but not in America.
No.
Or anywhere else,
no.
just
Yeah,
in
you
England.
went to America. That thing is falling right over.
Yeah.
So eventually some guy got that and he like fell down and the wheels fell off, so there were only 4, and he's like,
Oh,
I like this. Let's call it a vehicle instead.
Yes. I can imagine he was sick of not
ATV of
being able to
sorts.
go anywhere he wanted.
They're like,
it's
do you want to come to America? I can't go up those hills over there, man. I'm sorry.
It's like, I do say, I'm really sick and tired of these hills. Let me invent something. Let me add some more wheels to my car.
I'm
And a
surprised
weird truck
that
bed or
it
something.
wasn't slightly farm related.
I'm sure.
Because
it
I
was.
could see.
I could see that.
I
And
could
do
see
think
something like
he's
that.
actually smoking a pipe. No, he's not smoking a pipe.
Oh no,
Smoking a
he's
pipe? He's probably dead.
he's got a
Smoking
pipe-like mustache.
Yeah,
black mustache.
which he wears a shield over.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. 19. Snow protectors. A Canadian invention from 1939. I'm telling you, 1960 hit and people just stopped inventing weird and no, that's not
No,
true.
they
That's-
didn't.
They just became sex things.
Oh yeah.
1960 hit and they were like, all
In the
right.
70s and 80s, it was all
Yeah.
sex stuff.
Yeah.
And now we're in like, as soon as we hit the 2000s, it's all weird crap again.
Now
That makes
it's
no
all
sense.
apocalypse stuff. You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
prep yourself, folks.
Prep yourself.
19. Snow protectors. A Canadian invention from 1939. This plastic contraption offered protection for the face in snowstorms.
Well, it does snow
just
like
a plastic
370
cone.
days a year there.
Yes.
My first
just a
thought.
plastic cone on your face.
My first thought was when I saw that
Spy versus spy.
was that first off that, but no, like the cone. I was just thinking, why would it be a cone? Then I realized if the snow's melting, it would melt away.
yeah.
As well as I have learned with a mask and sunglasses, if it's too close to your face and you're breathing, it fogs up.
Oh, yeah. Or even regular glasses.
Or regular.
I would walk into the grocery store and I immediately couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
I was like, ah.
Got to put a tissue there. It's a whole thing. Or wear your glasses like a librarian. That's what I had to do.
right.
Yes. The Dewey Decimal System. That's what librarians
Okay.
talk about.
What did I say? 1960 hit. Okay, so
1960 hit, and the Japanese were like, you know what we need? Artificial boobs.
number 20, beating breasts. In 1963,
beating.
1963 pair of artificial breasts from Japan. The device had a built-in heartbeat and was meant to be a sleeping aid for very young children.
Or perverts.
Or perverts. Yes, exactly. It's weird. Okay.
If I have learned anything, if they wanted that to actually be for children, they would have marketed it for perverts because no one likes using it for what it's actually made for.
No. Here, sweetheart, go sleep with this. Why?
But he's like 16.
Yeah. Why? Oh, no.
The baby's
he might
like-
he might go for it then.
Yeah, that's true.
They're actually like, this isn't the right shape. I know my mother.
Yeah, exactly. What
Wait
is
a
this? It's like, oh my goodness. This is the bonus one. Number
Bonus.
21, radio stroller. This device from 1921 does what it says. It provides the baby with some much needed radio transmissions. It's basically just a series of pipes and levers and a radio
It's a boombox for that you can put a child
being
in.
pointed directly at the
How-
baby.
Imagine the apocalypse with me for a second, and you just see a stroller coming down the street with a megaphone coming out of it, just piping old-timey music.
That
If
would
I
be
Point
super
your
cr-
camera gun right at that thing and
Shoot
take
it.
some pictures.
If I have learned anything, in very bad situations, the baby's always in charge, and it gets weird. Especially especially when they got a megaphone.
And what? I'm sorry, what?
And like very crazy, like post-apocalyptic.
Oh, yeah,
if
yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah,
baby,
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that, it's usually in charge, and people
Worship it.
worship.
Yes. Well, it's because babies think they're worshipped anyway.
I mean, they kind of are.
You bring me everything. All
Yeah,
I
I
have to do is
hate
make a
'em.
noise. And you
I mean,
bring
they
everything.
get their poop cleaned up for them.
Oh, it's true.
I
And
mean,
they
so do
complain
I.
about it.
Yeah.
I push
And then
a little lever, it goes
And they
away.
go to the bathroom right after you finish, and you're like, you
Oh, yeah.
little shit.
Oh, it's a real thing.
literally. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Actually, we blasted through that list way faster than I thought we would.
I'm sorry, I should have made more jokes.
Yeah, we should have made more jokes.
Better than
All right, which one of these?
camera gun.
If
Camera gun.
Camera gun
Yeah.
and mousetrap.
Which
and
one of these?
Mousetrap.
You don't even know his question.
I don't even know, yeah.
What
I was
your
gonna
question?
say, if one like actually existed, which one would you want? But yeah,
Oh, in that case, tomato tan.
Man.
that one looks the most recent. That looks like it's
It's very
in the
2015.
2000s.
It was
2015.
2015.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, tomato tan.
Okay, which ones would you merge to make a new, actually functioning?
I'd go the group shaving machine, but it's powered by horses on a treadmill for some reason. I haven't figured out why.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go in the direction of the shaving machine, but instead of shaving, it's a group camera machine. Just the bunch of guns.
down.
And
So-
then when they wanted to shoot films, it was a minigun.
So, in order to know for a fact that you have had a satisfactory experience, we are going to take your picture at the end of your shaving experience. And they're like, okay, sounds good. Like, and the lever comes down, it's just a gun. You're like,
What?
they're already
And
like,
then there's one guy, and he's like, finally.
Thank God. I thought the machine was going to do it.
but it's the camera gun. Like, wait, stop the machine. Sorry, I forgot. I put normal guns on here. Yeah, just to test.
Which one of these chambers has the film? That's my question.
That's my-
The rest have bullets.
Oh,
Gotta make sure you're on the right one.
Sorry, I had
So
to
during
look it up for you
the
guys.
mustache shield or the
Yes, the mustache.
Mustache me a
Interesting.
question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah, interesting.
You guys can't see it. Just look up mustache shield muck.
Yeah, the nose stylus was like, just
Haunting.
how are you multitasking
I use
to
a
the
different
point where
type
you
of
can't even?
style.
No. Oh my goodness. Okay. He's talking about a normal stylus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
that's what it looked like.
my God.
I'm just saying.
When
I'm just saying.
we first mentioned that one, my thought was, for people that like don't have use of their hands, so
Sure,
they need a
yeah,
way. To,
yeah.
Right.
No, they
No,
definitely
it's for
have use.
people who are
In fact,
just-
they have
At
too
least in
much
that
use.
picture. In that picture.
Because you
yeah.
still have to hold the phone. You're like, That's
It's weird. Like you've got
Sorry,
a
what was that?
thumb.
Do that again.
Like, hang on, autocorrect. Let me delete.
I never mean puck.
I never mean.
Nor duck.
Oh,
I haven't
man.
seen ducks in years.
I'm gonna look something else up because we blasted through that. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Is it though?
I like how we can do a list of like 10 things and
It takes
an
us
hour and a half.
forever. Yeah, well,
And we did
there was also
21
tiny
things.
descriptions.
Yeah, that's
there wasn't
true.
like a
That's
lot
true.
of to
Yeah.
each one.
Twas a sentence.
Twas.
Should we read that one?
Oh, Agent Orange. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
put that in
the worst. Yeah.
in terms of against humanity.
Yeah.
The 50 worst inventions. Let's see what this
Sure.
list is.
And
All right.
he's like, well, it depends on your bias. God damn it.
This is literally just a list. Time you can do better.
Can they though? It's
Okay,
It's
well, let's
just-
go through.
okay.
Let's go through it.
Number one, the Segway. Okay.
First
They're
of
very
all,
useful.
There are mall cops.
Yes.
We got moves.
Security guards.
Yeah.
Yep. People who don't want to walk.
New Coke. I'll give them new Coke.
New Coke.
I'll
Yep,
give them new
yep.
Coke. That's
That
pretty
was
crap.
one.
Actually, no. If the rumors were true that they came out with that so that people wouldn't like it, so that they would love and enjoy original Coke when it came back,
Yes.
then it's genius.
Oh yeah.
Well,
it's
sure,
Genius
yeah.
marketing. Absolutely. Clippy, for those of you who do not remember Clippy from Windows XP,
Oh my lord.
was the annoying little
Oh,
assistant.
it was
that
before
popped up
Windows
and said-
XP.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't
it was
that
on
like-
like 95.
Was it on 95?
Yeah.
Okay, but I knew it stopped being a thing with Windows Vista.
Yes.
Yes. See, they finally got rid of Clippy.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's doing now.
I see you're having trouble. Do
Yeah.
you need some help?
No,
Like,
get
Clippy,
outta here.
go away. I don't want you. Agent Orange. Yes, probably a pretty terrible thing.
It's a
sure.
in terms of crimes against humanity.
I mean,
Yes.
why? Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Here's one. Q-Cat. Oh, they're actually clickable links. Okay.
I see. What the hell?
Released.
that looks like
Okay.
the worst power strip I've ever seen.
Seriously.
It's probably another anti-mouse
mouse
thing.
thing.
Okay, released at the height of the tech boom in the late 1990s, the Q-Cat was a massively expensive failure. Millions of the cat-shaped barcode scanners were produced and shipped for free across the U.S. in hopes that people would use them to scan specially marked barcodes to visit internet sites. It's like an early QR code.
Yeah.
How this was
Looks
easier.
way too big to use.
How this was easier than typing
That's
a
what I'm
link.
saying, yeah.
The company never did answer. They're like, how is this
were
easier
like-
than
there
typing
are
a link?
times, where it's just like, why did you come up with this? They're like, guys, what if
Well,
we,
you
what
need
if
the
we invented a
mouse.
scanner
So you need the mouse. You
that's
need your
shaped like
cat
a
scanner.
giant
I'm
mouse?
just
I mean, that's
picturing,
probably what it was.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a mouse, so now we made a cat.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I'm just picturing the press conference of, we made this thing. Why? Next question.
Next question.
It just turns.
Okay. Is it better?
you know?
Is it better than just typing? Next question.
They're asking us a lot of good questions.
Why
Did
are you shipping-
anyone
Why did we
feel this?
open questions?
why did you ship it for free? Next question.
It just turned. Did anyone focus group this? There's a
Next
bunch of
question.
90s tech guys like.
Tech boom. It's the tech
There's
boom.
one
yeah.
dude that like, he's like,
Oh my
I love
goodness.
this. And he's
Oh.
just got 50 cats surrounding
Nope,
him.
I lost the list.
Control Shift T.
Gary.
Control Shift T.
Control Shift B.
T?
Yep.
Okay, I have to go back. Okay, I thought it opened a new window. It did not. QCat submarine mortgages or subprime. Sorry, wow.
Would you like to finance your own submarine? I probably would do that, honestly. Yeah.
yeah, like welcome to my house.
It's a submarine.
It's down there.
God.
Oh crap! Collection agencies, dive!
Another submarine got away from us. We have no idea where it is. It's not
The best
our
part
water.
is,
National waters.
don't worry, guys. I financed the nuclear sub. Launch torpedoes.
I got a great API.
Yeah. You come up, you're like, what's going on? COVID-19. All right.
Dive.
So, subprime mortgages. We'll skip that one.
You see me walking around my submarine house going. Boop, boop. We don't have radar. I just make the noise.
Sonar.
While I'm sitting up there going,
Sonar. Sorry. Yes, you're right. Thank you, Barry.
okay, crinoline. Worn in combination with the corset, the crinoline was fashioned at its most uncomfortable. A relic of the Victorian era, crinolines occasionally measured some 6 feet across, making simple daily tasks like, walking through doors challenging. Heels look downright practical by comparison. It's basically the big dresses
Yeah, the
with
big
like
poofy
frames.
dress. Yeah.
Frames in them.
It's like a head cone, but for women.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird.
Flip it upside down.
Yeah. I select submarine mortgages.
The fact that
I would finance the hell out of a submarine.
Oh my goodness.
Next aircraft carrier.
Was Virtual Boy a bad thing? It's saying worse
It
than
gave
Inventions.
everybody headaches.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Because
Early
it didn't
VR
sell well.
before
Yeah.
It gave people headaches.
Because you basically just played the game in front, like on your eyes.
it was
literally just-
right there. That's all.
and was before
Yeah.
proper technology to prevent that from destroying
Yeah.
your eyes. That was
Yes.
back during
And
the
it was-
don't sit too close to the TV.
It was
period.
also like bright red lasers and stuff. It's like,
Yeah,
Did you ever
it's
really want to mess up
wireframe
your,
and-
your eyesight?
Yeah. Was this tested on
Virtual
humans?
Boy. Did anyone
Next question.
It was. They were like, it works. They just didn't deal with the aftermath. They send it out and they're like, we're getting headaches. Yup.
Like,
We already shipped them.
it's like, so what'd you think of the what was it called? The Virtual Boy.
I'm blind now.
It was fun before I lost my eyesight. Farmville is the next one.
I
That
actually enjoyed
is,
that because it distracted me in college.
I never played Farmville.
Never
not
played
once.
it. No. I got people who sent me requests for it when I was actually on Facebook.
Oh, me too. All left and right.
When I was in chemistry freshman year, when it first came out, we had like monitors beneath the desk so we could do stuff and like work on chemistry above it. And we definitely all played Farmville during class because it was chemistry.
That's
Chem
fair.
101. It's not
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that's
It
fair.
was like playing Mario in your calculator.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, the good old days of when
Yeah.
you could install
Yep.
Mario on
Yep.
your calculator.
Yep. Next one is hydrogenated oils. Yeah, that's just a health thing. Like, they're not good for you. So
Sure they are. Also, I have crystals. If you
let's see what they have.
back pain.
So the health scourge of the 2000. Oh, that's how we're going to refer to eating in the 2000s.
The health scourge.
Yes.
Oh, actually, no. I will actually kind of agree with
Trans
that one.
fats were invented for a practical purpose. In the late 1800s, people began adding hydrogen to oils like vegetable oil to increase the shelf life of foods. I need to zoom in. That is really small. But modern studies found that the combination, which does not occur naturally, had unforeseen health consequences, contributing to a rise in bad cholesterol and increasing the risk of heart disease. Manufacturers like McDonald's raced to remove trans fats from their foods, and in 2006, food manufacturers in the U.S. were required to label the amount of trans fats included in their products.
Yep. That one definitely was a bad
yeah.
one. Because the best example is, I want to say, Sweden, where they still have like the last meal bought at a McDonald's and it still looks exactly like you would get from if you ordered it. And they've been closed for like 10 plus years. At this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. The next one is Honegar, invented in 1959 by Dr. DeForest C. Jarvis. Honegar is exactly what it sounds like, a mix of equal parts honey and apple cider vinegar. Jarvis drew his inspiration from the drinking habits of rural Vermont farmers, who he believed to be particularly healthy. While the unpalatable recipe failed to catch on, though there are modern-day devotees, the science may not be all bad. Both honey and apple cider vinegar contain a slew of important antioxidants and are folk treatments for ailments like arthritis.
when I was
Yeah.
when I was working at one of the U.S. embassies, there was one of my team guys who actually drank apple cider vinegar.
Yeah. Some people just do a shot in the morning.
No,
and then
he
they-
like
he just
like
drink
you know how
it.
like I get like a can of soda. He would sit there during the day
gross.
and drink
No.
apple
No, no, no,
cider
no.
vinegar.
No, thank
I
you. No,
would
thank you.
love if he never actually did and put normal like Coke.
That
or
would be
something in there,
hilarious.
and just so that people like you have these.
That would be
stories.
hilarious. Except I actually saw him buy it.
Oh,
That's
and
the
then
thing.
open
Yeah.
it and
Like,
drink
yeah,
it.
yeah, like that's
Yeah.
like putting like whatever Cool Whip or something in a mayonnaise jar.
Right.
Yeah, that would be.
yeah.
That would be
No, I've seen him.
fantastic.
I've seen him buy it and open it and then start drinking it. So it's not even like that.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
gross.
And I was like, "How do you drink that stuff?" He's like, it's good for you." I'm good.
Yeah, I'm sure in small amounts.
No, yeah, he was drinking
Like-
it bottles. Just
Little
As
did
soon as
you
you
know,
finish, you'd be like, I'll be right back.
yeah, it was disgusting.
Oh, my goodness.
he just destroyed his taste buds, so he never actually tasted
Seriously.
it.
On this list is hydrogen blimps. Yeah.
Yes, that
Well,
is a
yeah,
very
yeah. I mean,
terrible
sure.
one.
If the problem was everybody burning alive and dying.
Hindenburg.
When the Hindenburg was designed in 1931, its makers made the fatal choice to use hydrogen instead of helium to set the blimp aloft. Hydrogen was cheaper and more readily available, but had the nasty side effect of being highly flammable. That proved to be a problem in 1937 when the famed blimp caught fire and
No, I
crashed
would have
in
said
just
the problem.
6 seconds, spelling
That
the
was
end
one
of
of
the
the
hydrogen blimp.
problems.
Most current blimps include the famous Goodyear ones are powered by far less volatile helium. Yes.
And if they get a puncture, everyone sounds hilarious as they crash.
They're like, so what was the problem with the Hindenburg? Well, first it caught fire and exploded, and that was just the start. The engines weren't very powerful. The on-flight meals, awful.
Next
Crashing
one,
into the ground wasn't great either, honestly.
hair in a can.
I remember
Cheese,
Cheese,
yes.
I remember,
Cheese.
I remember seeing the commercials
Cheese,
for it.
spam, sardines. Nothing really good has ever come from a can.
I disagree
That's
on the
not
spam.
True.
I disagree on the spam.
Hair.
Have you ever had whipped cream
Yeah, seriously. Or food, like canned food.
or whipped cream
Hair is no exception.
Mountain Dew?
hyped
or
breathlessly
whipped cream?
on off-hour infomercials.
Yeah, I
spray on
remember
hair
these,
is supposed
yeah.
to cover up bald spots. In practice, the can emits a fine powder that ends up looking like a little better than if you had used a can of spray paint.
Yeah.
So, if nothing else, it's evidence that there's definitely something to be said for growing old with dignity.
Still came with the same fumes as
You
spray
know,
paint
some
does.
kid in the 90s or whatever was like, I'm not getting hair down there.
And then his axe, he's like, hearing a lot of spraying.
You know somebody did
Yeah.
Or on their chest to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
to the
right, yeah,
swimming
like
pool
it's
and they
chest
jump
hair,
in
yeah,
and
yeah.
it just
Yeah. You know what happened. Mustache.
That's probably the reason it.
Witness me.
That's why it got canceled. As people started doing that, and they
That's
were
probably
like,
what happened.
"Oh, we shouldn't."
Yeah,
open
spraying it
ourselves
where
to
they
those.
shouldn't,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
is
it burns.
anywhere.
Oh, it burns.
Yeah. What's in this?
Because then you would get the dares.
The what?
People daring each other. I
Oh,
bet
yeah,
you wouldn't
yeah.
do this in your ear.
Why'd you do it?
Quick, look like an old person. Yeah.
Well,
All right.
I can't hear.
Spray
Okay,
it up
I've
your
always
nose.
wanted to be blonde.
DDT. DDT was supposed to be the magic bullet versus the scourge of insect-borne diseases like malaria, discovered in 1873. I'm pretty sure most things that we discovered in the 1900s or 1800s turned out to be bad in some way.
Remember when everybody used to put asbestos in their house?
Yeah, exactly. DDT is short for the less catchy dichlorodiphenyl
Yeah.
wasn't used.
Diphenyl trichloroethylene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What he said.
Chloroethylene.
Wasn't used widely until 1939 when Swiss chemist Paul Hermann Muller noted its effectiveness as a pesticide during World War II, a discovery that earned him. We should have just done this list. No, I like the other one. I like the pistols.
I like both.
Earned him a Nobel Prize, and then in 1948, after the war, use exploded from 1942 to 1972. Some 1.35 billion pounds of DDT were used in the U.S. But absent from the DDT mania was consideration of the environmental effects of dumping millions of pounds of potential pesticides each year. Much like concerns for effects on most things are absent until they're killing us. Yeah. Rachel Carson's seminal 1962 environmental tract Silent Spring was the first to call attention to the nasty little fact that DDT produced fertility and neurological problems in humans and accumulated up the food chain in wildlife, poisoning birds.
This was also around
birds
the time.
aren't real.
That's true. No, this is what killed them all off, so they make the
what killed them all
drones.
off, so they,
The conspiracy expands.
This was also during the time where science wasn't as widely
respected.
respected, so
Right.
it was
Right.
there wasn't a bunch of people couldn't
'Cause,
that maybe
it's
kill the
respected now.
environment?
yes. Well,
You
there
know,
weren't
they
many
didn't care.
trials.
You know
There
what
weren't
I'm
many
saying? Yeah,
trials.
exactly. It was
It's
just
effective.
it works.
Let's use it. Yeah.
Well, this was
Yeah.
also during the time where not much would really make you think that something could hurt the environment.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the effects hadn't been seen yet.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it was at such a small extent that it
Right.
had not accumulated.
we had just started doing combustion engines.
Exactly.
And, we didn't know at this time that all of this stuff would.
We thought
rapidly kill
smoking
the
was
planet.
good, so they
Yeah,
were like, well, this is
exactly.
just making air taste better.
Excuse me, do you guys think that all these new inventions are killing us and the planet?
I mean, that's 100 years from now's problem.
Define killing?
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to take a picture of it with my gun.
So next one is autotune. It's a
I agree.
technology that can make bad singers sound good. No. And really bad singers like T-Pain, pictured here, sound like robots. And it gives singers who sound like Kanye West or Cher the misplaced confidence that they too can croon. Thanks
I
a
like
lot.
whoever wrote this
Thanks a
list.
lot, computers.
That's hilarious.
I will say,
Oh, my.
really attacking some people.
I partly
Oh,
agree.
yeah.
I partly disagree. It's in the intended purpose, I agree. It was a terrible idea. In the spoofs that we get
Oh, that's
from
true.
Oh,
actual
yes.
things that
Like
they have
Lonely
been
Island,
put in.
yeah,
Exactly. That is genius.
Next one is Red Dye number 2.
That's fair.
Among the most
that one.
ubiquitous food colorings in the 1970s, Red Dye number 2 was pulled from the market in 1976 after Soviet scientists claimed the test showed a link between the substance and cancer. Was the panic overblown? Probably. No one ever succumbed to a red dye disease, but the fact that the scare pulled red M&Ms from bags for a decade is enough for the substance to make the
Can they
list.
just keep using
I
red dye
actually-
number 1?
I actually do remember some people who were so paranoid about that
Yeah.
would actually take
Oh, yeah.
out all the
People are still
red ones.
Yeah, still freaked out about it. Ford Pinto, 1971 model, is hands down one of the worst cars of all time. That's what happens when an automobile has the nasty tendency to literally explode when involved in a rear end collision.
Would burst into flames. Nobody could figure it out.
Adding insult to
And
injury.
the best part, it was a rear end collision. That means if you got hit from behind, your car would burst into flames.
Was it?
Not like
did
you
we-
bumped
yeah.
into somebody from
That's
behind.
because
You're like,
all
okay,
the-
the engine maybe.
That's because all the
If
safety
you got-
tests were done
to the front of the
to the
car.
front,
Apparently,
not like-
is there
have we
anything
tried
you can
hitting it
flammable
from
back
behind?
there?
Yeah.
No.
You got the intern over there like, have we tried hitting it from behind?
Fire
Shut
that
up.
kid.
Walks over and pops it with a hammer.
Someone take a picture of that kid.
You closed the trunk a little too hard.
Yeah.
All right.
You put
Adding
in
insult.
subwoofers in it. Don't go above 88 decibels.
Adding insult to injury was the infamous memo Ford wrote after learning about the problem, arguing it would be cheaper to pay settlements to victims than to fix the Pinto.
That
probably.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, that's like the way most companies deal with
Yeah.
things. It's easier to pay
It's
the
just
fine.
easier to pay it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
to pay the fine than worry about it.
Parachute jacket. Honestly, you can
Like
probably
parachute
guess where
pants?
this is going. Down fast. Designed in 1912. Oh, good old yield. 1912 by German inventor Franz Reichelt. The parachute jacket had a high profile unveiling when Reichelt wore one for a jump from the Eiffel Tower. It didn't deploy. Oh my!
He
Can't you
died.
Trust me, this thing is gonna be great.
Should you try it on a dummy first? Nope.
So, funny parachute story about not opening. So,
I think I might know this.
when you go to airborne school in the Army, they used to use these giant towers in the middle
Yeah.
of a giant field, and what they do is they would hook you in with the parachute and everything like that,
Yeah.
which was already deployed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they would hoist you up to the top of the tower and drop you.
Right.
Now they don't really use them anymore because it's like next to everything. So if the winds are bad, you're going into the barracks, which would make getting to the barracks a lot quicker. But but they still do it with dummies to demonstrate. So in my airborne school, they lifted this thing up and the chute didn't unfurl.
Like, all right, you ready?
So they're like, all right, so everyone, you can see the MC-10 parachute will open, and just woo, poof. Now the theory is they do that as a joke. Nobody,
Right.
but
Yeah.
That's
it did
actually
not
their
feel
way
like
of
they
going,
put a lot of
hey,
confidence.
Potter, you're up.
Yeah, whoa, okay.
It was actually their way of going, hey, truly learn how to use this, or
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be you.
It's gonna be you. Next one is Betamax, which this should not be on the worst things ever invented list. Betamax wasn't so much a bad product as a lesson in marketing gone awry.
There you go.
The also ran to VHS and the video format wars. Somebody's missing a letter or something there. Betamax was pushed by Sony as a proprietary format in 1975 before it was completely ready in a race to get manufacturers on board. But while Betamax could record up to an hour of video, VHS could record up to 2 hours.
Oh.
That slight advantage was enough for VHS to gain a foothold in the market, one it never relinquished. Betamax became a footnote. It was visually and audibly superior, though.
That sounds, in terms of the length, I'm not sure. I don't know if it was an American thing as well. It happened when I was in England, where they tried a thing where they started doing micro CDs.
Yeah, I remember
That was-
micro
that
was
CDs.
here
They were
too?
just tiny little CDs.
They were like
yeah.
half the size of a CD, and they were like that big, and they really tried to push it.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
it
actually
did
why
not.
I
your
don't remember
CD
that at all.
tray still
Like it
Oh,
has
has
that
that
little
little-
ring.
yeah,
divot. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That
just,
makes sense.
Like, should we get rid of the micro CD slot at this point?
Nah.
Nah, keep it
Easier
in
to
there.
pay the fine.
Yeah,
It's
that's
actually
true.
They're actually like, it's a thinner layer of plastic.
Yeah.
Saves us money.
Why not? The next one is the baby cage.
I mean, people still use those.
Wow.
Not that one, because
Not
that's the
one
out
you hang
window
out your
one.
window. Oh my goodness. Okay, in the 1930s. Okay, first you're on the ice with your baby in a sling between the two of you. Did you care about your babies?
I'm starting to
Did you
see.
care about your babies?
I'm
just-
starting
I
to
just
see
see
why
this-
the population was lower back then.
I just have this image of these parents, and they're just like, "Damn, that kid is getting into everything. Put him in the cage and hang him out the window.
Pretty much. And the
He needs some
1930s.
fresh air. We can't go out. We live in a tiny apartment. There's no parks nearby. The smog from the new cars will get him. He'll be fine."
In the 1930s, London nannies, lacking space for their young ones, resorted to the baby cage. It's exactly what it sounds like, a creepy wire contraption patented in the U.S. in 1922 that lets you claim that space outside your city window for your infant.
The worst part is when you were walking on the sidewalk below them, and the baby wasn't wearing a diaper. It's, man.
Can you imagine getting one handed down through the generations? And this was your grandmother's baby cage.
Yes.
Like,
I can't wait
don't
to use the
want-
baby cage.
Why is the
for my
hook broken
baby.
on the right
Yeah.
side? Well, it looked fine.
It was fine. We
Uh,
didn't have big
we-
babies. That was the problem. Yeah, they were light.
So since we are getting closer to our time, this is a
Yes.
very big list.
Yes.
We're going to just read these off, and then when you see one you want to hear about,
Got it.
so tanning beds,
No.
pretty ridiculous. Crocs, yes.
Pretty awful.
Hula chair.
Opinion-based.
What is a hula chair?
Yeah, I don't even know what a hula chair is.
I will put Crocs in the opinion based, because if you are a dad, usually you have one for your garden. My dad has like 4 pairs.
So hula chair. Is it an
Never owned a pair
amusement
of
park
pants.
ride or a workout device? The hula chair attempts to create the ab workout
Oh, she
sensation
did
of
that.
using a hula hoop. Actual exercise while sitting down, generally not considered exercise. Giving your abs, yeah, workout while filing papers is a nice idea, but trying to focus while you lower half is throttling around like this is absurd.
Wait, keep
It's
going.
more to the
Wait.
point, oddly erotic. Oh, and the chair costs upwards of $250.
Think about it, guys. So I'm doing the show, right? And I'm just doing this the whole time. That's not distracted,
See,
right?
eventually someone was like, wait, can you just do that on a ball? You know, that's a good
it's pretty
idea.
much actually true, yeah. I'm just like, Gary, keep going with the list, buddy. I don't know what's the problem.
Man, I need to get my
It's
workout
very awkward.
in.
Please get
No, I'm trying to get my abs there, Kevin.
Foursquare. So the game Foursquare?
No, the app.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
an
the app
Yeah,
Foursquare.
yeah.
Okay.
It was essentially a stalking app.
Yeah, okay.
And
I mean,
actually, no,
when-
it was in a way, it was kind of like social media where
Yeah.
people like take pictures of their food. Except this was if you go somewhere, it would tell your friends that you were there.
That's
Right. This
So
they
that
used
they
to
could
like
come and hang out with
They
you.
used to advertise on like
Or
every
stalk you.
YouTube
Stalk you.
video
Yeah.
back in the day. Like
Yep.
this episode brought to you by Foursquare. Yeah.
Yep.
Have you
Okay.
ever wanted to follow that one girl you saw on the subway?
Pop-up ads. Yeah, I love pop-up ads.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
The
Phone-
worst pop-up ads were back in the day where they would pop up and start moving. Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
original Rickroll too.
You have a virus. You have a
Yeah.
virus. Click on this ad to get rid of the virus we're about to give you. Phone fingers.
I remember these.
With the iPhone, some people really do mind fingerprints. One Austrian company found a novel solution for this present-day quandary. Cover your digits with latex accessories known as
Weirdo.
phone fingers.
AKA finger
We'll end it
condoms.
there. The only problem
look
for
like?
buyers was getting the fingers on and off with any semblance of ease. The company squelched those worries with a printable size chart designed to help buyers estimate their finger size. Just put your finger on the piece of paper and presto, you're a large. Yeah, I need my
Yeah.
iPhone for, well, everything but this. Oh, wow.
This for two things. One, that was just so people could say they were ordering a large version. But they're
I got the
actually
Magnums.
used in a lot of time in restaurants and stuff. When someone gets cut on their finger,
Yeah, yeah.
they'll put like a finger condom on.
Yep.
Before gloves
Yeah.
were required all the time.
Bump
goodness they
It. Do you guys want to see what that one is? What's Bump It?
Is it bump it or bum pit?
Bump It. B-U-M-P-I-T.
Or is it a pit of bums? It's a terrible idea. So many bums in
bum
one pit.
pits. Hey, ladies, disappointed because your skull lacks an unnatural ridge? The Bump It is
Oh,
here
I
to help.
remember that.
Infomercials didn't go quite like that, but this hair volumizing insert, oh
Yeah.
yes, I do remember now, is about as lame. Likely celebrity practitioners, Snooki from Jersey Shore,
Yeah.
and allegedly
Yeah.
even Sarah Palin. Judge for yourself.
Yep, I remember that
Bump
one.
It's electric facial mask. I can't imagine how that would go wrong. Sony CD copy protection.
Snuggie for dogs.
Venetian blind sunglasses. Oh yeah, those were. Yeah, I remember those. Pet spa, Pontiac Aztec, Snuggie for dogs. It's probably just a Snuggie for dogs.
Asbestos. See?
Mizar flying car, asbestos. I want to see what they
Fake
have to say about-
ponytails. I will say, my parents or my family once got me an electric Snuggie for a joke gift on Christmas. It's essentially
Well,
just a
that's the
Snuggie
thing.
of an electric
Snuggies were
blanket.
joke gifts, and they
They
made
were.
bank, and they
Yeah.
didn't care.
And honestly, it was fantastic. I could be in a heated blanket while I played video games.
fantastic.
At first glance, are you still
Still doing it. Still working my ass.
This is why
At
you do
first-
not get us
I
wheelie
know. At first glance, asbestos appears to be a construction worker's confidant. It is a versatile mineral fiber that excels at absorption and can withstand the harshness of heat.
What's the problem?
When floor tiles or roof shingles need to be repaired or replaced, asbestos morphs into a homeowner's headache. Those same strong fibers that drive a building's start can turn nasty during remodeling or demolition stages. Inhaling the toxic particles in that state causes asbestosis, a condition instigated by fibrosis in the lungs, sparking chest pain, shortness of breath, nail abnormalities, clubbing of fingers, and other complications. With those factors in mind, the EPA issued a ruling on July 12, 1989, banning most asbestos-containing products. But 2 years later, later, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans overturned that decision, leaving only some products on the banned list: flooring, felt, rollerboard, and corrugated commercial and specialty paper. When a substance makes its way into the federal government's Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry, something was wrong to begin with. That is actually the
like
same
lead
picture. I believe the same picture that was in like an old encyclopedia that I read when I was a kid. Okay, so what else? What else?
I'm
we
surprised
have here?
lead-based paint is not on there then.
Lestra, comfort wipe, fake ponytails, head on.
Oh yeah, head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Do you not
Yeah,
remember those
I
ads?
don't. I
It
don't.
was the most
Chapstick for the
frustrating
forehead.
ones. Because the commercial was literally that. Just head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply
What does it
directly to
do?
the... It was just like a headache thing or
Moisturizer
something. I don't even know.
Pay toilets, which are all over Europe. Actually,
I was gonna say
still
it's
to this day.
pretty common. Yeah.
Yeah, Tamagotchis.
Oh, I loved my Tamagotchi.
Why is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
What are they?
Those were really fun.
Okay, so when a child asks a parent for his or her first pet, the defense platform is given. Are you going to feed it? Are you going to keep it clean? With Bandai Toys' late 1990s, children finally got their way past those basic questions with a pet that fit in their pocket. Via a combination of buttons A, B, and C, Tamagotchis could be fed, changed, and entertained. But just like an actual pet with a pulse, the egg-shaped device required constant care. If not, it could be dead in less than a day. For parents looking to foster time management skills in their children, the Tamagotchi often got the best of that battle. Okay.
I had a gold one that literally, with these things, if you didn't ever have one, you would go to bed and you would wake up and it would just be a bunch of poo around your
I never had
Tamagotchi.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Ben had them,
Oh,
but I
really?
never had one.
I still
never
actually
did.
have one somewhere.
Leaded gasoline.
Well, it's probably super dead. Or mating.
Or getting ready to kill
Something.
me
That's true.
when the robot uprising.
Leaded gasoline. Pulled to a local gas station, every pump has something in common. Unleaded is the new craze. For nearly 6 decades, gasoline companies ignored the known dangers associated with lead to get rich. Tetrathiol lead boosted the octane levels in the auto fuel, and there was speculation surrounding the safety of that decision from day one. And I did not know this. In
didn't either,
November 10th, 1924 issue of Time, a report showed that 35 men at the Standard Oil Company of New Jersey had come down with an occupational disease.
Death.
Symptoms ranged from insomnia to low blood pressure, all at the hands of lead poisoning. The EPA completed a full phase-out of lead gasoline in 1986, ending the quest to trade steady health for steady sales.
All right. Here's an invention I did not see on here, but I want to know if you guys remember it. Does anyone remember the toothbrush strips where it was these little packages where you would open it and it was like those finger condoms,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you used it to brush your teeth.
No.
And it was like
I
mint
don't
on it
remember
or
those.
something. It had the commercial of
Was that
rip,
England?
slip, brush. No, this was America. I
This is
remember
America?
because I was
Okay.
driving past King
Okay.
Soopers.
No, I don't remember these.
Oh my goodness.
Vibrating ab belt. I do remember
Those
those.
are still
so you don't have to
around.
sit there doing the hula thing.
Yeah.
You just get shocked with it.
Spam email, smell-o-vision, smile checks.
Small check.
What are smile checks? Be happy or else. In 2009, employees of Japan's Kainen Electric Express Railway started facing morning smile checks in which they were subjected to software that analyzed their facial expression to produce a rating of their smile on a scale of 0 to 100. Not dumb enough, they also had to carry around images of their ideal smile as something to aspire to throughout the course of the day.
Frowny face.
I've seen
what it's
dystopian sci-fi novels that start like this.
My goodness.
Smile time. Everyone
Yeah,
smile.
what-
I mean,
What did you-
psychologically based? I can see why, because there is the psychology behind, like, if you laugh or if you smile, it does lift your
Yes.
Fake it till you make
endorphins.
it. Fake it
It's
till you
like
make
Brooklyn
it.
Nine-Nine,
But-
where it's like
Yeah.
I specifically asked you
There are
guys
equal
to
studies that also prove
being
that
forced.
do it,
to
yeah.
express
Yeah,
an emotion
it's-
you're not actually feeling is actually really bad for your
Yeah.
health.
It's one of those
depressing.
weird
Yes,
ones.
it's very
where-
depressing. Yeah.
If you have to fake being happy all the time.
So what'd your
it's
smile
one
get
of those
today?
ones where it's like, here's the middle. If you're above it, you're on the good side of the force.
Yeah,
if you're
absolutely.
On the
Yeah. What did your smile get rated today?
Hold on, I need to find
I
this
just walk around
brush
like-
strip.
Microsoft Bob. What is Microsoft
Bob Microsoft?
Bob.
I like that guy.
Okay, we only have 2 more and we'll end it. Microsoft Bob, imagine a whole operating system designed around Clippy, and you get the crux of Microsoft Bob, designed to be an easier interface for Windows 95 users. Bob envisioned your computer as his house. You turn it on, he's like, get out of my house!
Standing
I
there
can't
naked
use-
in the kitchen. Damn it, Bob.
It's like I can't use my computer. I don't want to use my computer.
Oh my God, Bob.
With you as a guest, ever so accommodating, he'd even supply cartoon sidekicks to guide you through simple
God,
tasks.
that sounds irritating.
The software was expensive and overly cutesy, and it failed to compete with Apple's Macintosh, I can imagine. The user-friendly standard, and though Bob is long gone, he left one enduring blight on the web, Comic Sans. Perhaps the worst font of all time was created exclusively for Bob. Of course it was.
Should have got a Dell.
I can imagine it's like
goodness.
Microsoft Bob gets a virus, and that's when he just goes straight like just nasty old
Bob
man.
turns into Bill. What happened to your computer by Bob game, Robert?
Oh my
I was
goodness.
glad you got the
now.
Robert virus.
He's more serious now.
VO. I've never heard of this.
I don't. Yeah.
Coke calls it the world's first vibrancy drink.
I thought that was original Coke when it had cocaine in it.
I thought that was absinthe.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
That's a really, really lame euphemism to get around the fact that VO is carbonated flavored milk.
Ugh. That sounds disgusting.
The beverage.
The flavored milk, fine. Carbonated flavored milk, yeah.
What are you doing? The beverage giant rolled out bottles of the stuff in 2009 to test markets, including New York. Shockingly, it failed to find broad appeal, although Coke is still producing it in limited quantities. You can still buy
I've
this.
I
never
bet
even
it's one
heard
of
of it.
those ones that like the people that did drink it are now obsessed with it.
I drank VO before it was cool. No big deal.
VO.
Did you mean
Bio.
Mio? No.
No.
No, you
No.
can't. I don't know. I don't know if it's still being made, but I'm gonna try to find it.
Check eBay.
eBay.
Along with
Oh my
that-
goodness, I gotta get rid of that
that one
image.
unopened can of new Coke.
So that is the end of our lists today. We blasted through that first one very, 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 very
And then
quickly.
took forever on the second.
Very
took
fun
forever on the
lists
second
though.
Yeah, it was good. That was good. Again, we have to ask why.
Why?
Why?
Although hula chair.
You're gonna go get one, aren't
I
you?
am gonna go get one. Or I'm just gonna keep doing this every time I'm near you because I know it freaks you out.
Awkward.
I know.
It's
We'll just
so
do an
awkward.
entire podcast like this,
just
the
and
whole
we'll-
time.
and we'll never mention it.
That'd be pretty good. An hour of doing this
Yeah.
though. That would be
But I'll
actually
get
probably
the,
a good
I'll
ad.
get the
Yeah.
vibrating ab
The
thing.
shock one.
Yeah.
Just the whole time you're twitching.
Yeah.
The theory behind it was that the vibrations would simulate
Yeah.
the actual doing of
Yeah, like
crunches.
Tightening the
Yeah.
muscles. Yeah.
It doesn't.
Well, they used to have an electrode exercise machine that you would just like slap on yourself and you just like sit there and it would
Twitch like a
Yeah.
moron.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is our episode today. Let us know in the comment section below what your favorite weird invention is, or of any other weird inventions that you've heard of that we haven't. And yeah, let us know what they are.
Yeah.
Andy, where can they find you?
At For I Am the Andy on Instagram.
And in his hula chair.
And in my hula chair.
Dan.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DanTProducer or on Twitch at Silu91.
Yes, and you can find me on Twitter at Film Circuit, YouTube at Film Circuit, and Instagram at Northward Films. Just get a shake weight and just finish the whole. Just finish the whole.
How is Shake Weight not on here?
I don't
Because that
know.
actually was a good workout.
Once again, another great South Park episode as
Oh,
well.
it was. Oh, one of their best. All right. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.